No mercy.
Before we get to today's show, I want to let you know that the Undisputed podcast is brought to you by ADT. Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. The feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you wherever you go. Whether you're at your house, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe and secure with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Learn more at ADT.com. ADT, home safe home. Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. Nelly drops by the show today, and he's talking the latest between Mayweather and McGregor. Plus, Nelly, Skip, and Shannon are taking sides in LeBron versus Kyrie drama. Skip, Shannon, let's debate. Got to start with the feud between LeBron and Kyrie. Stephen A. Smith cited sources in LeBron's camp of saying, quote, if Kyrie Irving was in front of LeBron James right now, LeBron would be tempted to beat his ass. LeBron is reportedly upset that his name is being raked through the coals by Kyrie. ESPN reported yesterday that it's almost inevitable that the Cavs will trade Kyrie this offseason. Skip, whose side are you on in this feud?
I am ultimately, thank you, I am ultimately and definitely on Kyrie's side, and I want to be very clear about this. This is another classic case of LeBron and his inner circle attempting to turn LeBron into the victim here, when, in fact, Kyrie was always the victim from the very start. And as I pointed out to you yesterday, Kyrie had just inked a 5-year extension, had all kinds of promises from his ownership, starting with Dan Gilbert, that he was going to be the man for the next 5 years. And boom, only 11 days later, LeBron's coming home. And Kyrie sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed. As I said yesterday, he finally got sick and tired of sacrificing for one LeBron James. But I want to also be very clear. I have absolutely no issue with what my friend Stephen A. Smith is reporting here. I'm merely reacting to what he is reporting from those insiders. I don't know who it could come from. Maybe Maverick Carter, maybe Rich Paul. I know them. I like all of them, but they have a goal here. They have a job to do, and that's to defend their man, LeBron James. And again, I don't like the issue of turning LeBron into the victim, even though I'm going to give you up front one big point here. This reminds me a little bit of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, just a little bit, because obviously Russell was blindsided a year ago on July 4th when suddenly Kevin Durant sends him a text saying, boom, I'm leaving Oklahoma City for Golden State, and Russell didn't have any indication of that in any one-on-one conversation they had had, even though, I must say this, I had been reporting it for not 1 year or 2 years, for 3 long years. I reported that ultimately Kevin Durant will leave Oklahoma City because he is getting sick and tired of trying to coexist with Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, Kevin had never really relayed that personally in one-on-one conversations to Russell, so Russell obviously was angry because he felt blindsided. Now, in this case, a little bit different because Kyrie has had several, maybe many one-on-one conversations with LeBron James over the years. Remember, they got off to a rocky start.
Right.
And he has expressed superficially that he's had some issues with LeBron, but hasn't gone into the gory detail that my source close to Kyrie went into with me over the weekend.
Okay.
And my source, and I'm just going to, this is word for word what my source told me. So I said this to you yesterday, now I'm just going to read it to you word for word. Kyrie just never enjoyed playing with LeBron because it went well from the start, i.e. they started winning together. He just stifled it. Now he's just over it. He just can't defer to LeBron James anymore. I told you that yesterday, and I'm going to stand by that again today. But did Kyrie go into that much gory detail with LeBron? I'm going to give you this point. He probably should have been a little more specific, and I'm sure LeBron does feel a little bit blindsided by all that has come out, because the initial reports on ESPN.com were that Kyrie is evading, that was the line used in the headline, the word used in the headline, evading LeBron. He wants out from under LeBron James. Okay. So back to my reports yesterday. According to my source, Kyrie just got sick and tired of LeBron's, what he called passive-aggressive leadership. A lot of social media posting. We've seen some in the last 24 to 48 hours in which he would hint at this and hint at that. They're cryptic. they're a little between the lines. You're not sure exactly where he's going with it, but Kyrie's a more upfront, in-your-face kind of guy. Just tell me what your issues are, and we will deal with them. And he believed ultimately, and this is from my source, that LeBron cared more about himself and his brand than he did about the basketball team. That he did not take losing quite as hard as Kyrie takes losing. And I told you yesterday, Kyrie takes it over hard sometimes. He's very hard on himself. He's very hard on everything that is going on around him. He gets a little psycho about it, but he thought LeBron, as long as LeBron played well enough that his stats would speak for himself, a la NBA Finals, first man ever to average a triple-double in the Finals, that he was satisfied with that. What did I tell you the day after Game 5, the closeout game in the Finals? I came right in here and sat right here, and I told you, man, LeBron looked so satisfied last night. He actually looked relieved it was over because he recorded the first ever triple-double for an entire Finals, but they lost in 5 games. And it didn't look like LeBron really cared about that because, as we know, he'd made it clear, I just don't have enough help. And by the way, that quote, which was uttered by LeBron, remember, on January 23rd after the loss at New Orleans, really rankled Kyrie. This whole idea of we're top-heavy is, you know what, we need more bottom, we need more depth, I need more help. And Kyrie was offended by that because he's very proud and very smart, and he thought they had plenty of firepower, that he and LeBron were enough to go beat whoever was in Golden State. Kevin Durant joined forces with all those superheroes. Well, they did not, and Kyrie did not like it, and he never liked it from the start that he was forced to play with LeBron. So they did win a championship together, and Kyrie did hit a huge shot in Game 7. And LeBron played great in those last 3 games. And now, at age 25, Kyrie has just had enough of everything LeBron, because LeBron can be a little moody from day to day. As I've told you, the king can be occasionally a drama queen. And after a while, Kyrie just said, you know what? I'm going to force their hand. I'm out. But again, LeBron's point through Stephen A. is that don't rake my name over the coals as you leave. But I think Kyrie doesn't know how else to leave except just to say, I just didn't like it here. I didn't like playing with LeBron because I didn't choose to play with LeBron. He actually chose to come play with me. So I got stuck with this, and now I want out of this. With 2 years left on my deal, whether Cleveland will honor that, I have no idea. Maybe they won't, but I'm sure a lot of teams are lining up right now with the best offer they can make for Kyrie Irving. So I don't think LeBron was the victim here. I think Kyrie ultimately, and in the beginning, was the real victim here.
You got a lot. You got a lot for me to digest, and I was jotting down and trying to digest this as much as I possibly could.
Yeah.
So let me try to unpack. I mean, I like that terminology you use. Let me try to unpack some of the stuff that you packed nicely and neatly into the suitcase. You said you're on Kyrie's side. I'm on LeBron's side. You said Kyrie said he didn't want to sacrifice anymore. Kyrie sacrificed being in the lottery every year that LeBron wasn't there to go into 3 straight finals. That's some sacrifice.
I hear you. Okay. I get it, but he was just a baby coming in the league, 18, 19, 20. You know, now he's a man. Now he's a grown man, and he feels like he could do it by himself.
You said LeBron and his team is trying to portray LeBron as a sympathetic figure. He doesn't want sympathy. How about respect? Is that asking too much? See, LeBron has made it abundantly clear. I do not have a problem with Kyrie leaving. I left Cleveland to go to Miami. I then, in turn, left Miami to come back to Cleveland. Not at one point. Now, you can surmise all you want to why he left Cleveland, why he left Miami to return to Cleveland. But he never said it was Bosh. He never said it was D. Wade. He never said it was any of his former teammates. He just chose to leave, which is well within his rights.
And by the way, can I make a point of order here? And I think Joy will back me up on this. Dwayne Wade did not know LeBron was leaving until just the night before he made the big announcement, right? And so,
I'm coming home.
You know, I'm coming home. Yeah. So, again, sometimes these things play out where it just happens, where you just have to go ahead and react. And I did not condemn LeBron for not keeping Dwayne in the loop. He just suddenly decided he's out. And I think he was out because he thought Dwayne was getting a little old and frail. That's what I think.
Skip, the thing for me is that, and I'm going to get back to some of your points, is that it appears to me that LeBron saying leave, if that's what you want to do, and you're probably right, Kyrie. You probably deserve to be the captain of your own ship. But my name shouldn't come out your dentures. My name shouldn't be uttered because you're trying to make it seem like that I'm an unbearable teammate. See, that's what Kyrie is portraying. He's unbearable. Why would anybody, and you heard Dame Lillard, he's like, I don't know LeBron the player, but LeBron, I mean, who doesn't want to go to the finals every year? But Kyrie, basically by saying this, finals is not important to him. Being the captain is important to him. He's like Captain Phillips. Look at me. I'm the captain now. He's never, ever going to be big as LeBron James. He can go to New York. He can go to Golden State, San Antonio. He's never, Skip. It's not going to happen. See, the thing is that he's looking at it like, okay, Kobe and Shaq. Kobe got fed up with Shaq because Shaq was reporting to camp more and more out of shape. He felt Shaq wasn't dedicating himself as much as he was. And he couldn't, he's like, no, I can't. And he felt he wasn't going to get the credit that he rightfully deserved as long as Shaq was there.
Because it got to the point that town, this town we're in right now, not big enough for the both of them. Somebody wanted a solo stage, and it was Kobe.
LeBron has gone out of his way. He said Kyrie is special. At every turn, Kyrie is special. Kyrie can win an MVP. That's what LeBron has done. He's heaped praise on Kyrie Irving. And in return, I can't play with this guy. He makes it seem like, man, this is a drag, man. I mean, it's going to finals, but, man, LeBron, now here's a guy that, because he has a lot of sponsorship, Skip, he will get gifts, be it beats or whatever the case may be, and heap lavishly on his teammates. Make sure that whatever he has, they have. And then Kyrie turns around, and I can't play because he knew if you says, I just want to get traded, he knew if you bring LeBron into the mix, he already know what Dan Gilbert going to do. Dan Gilbert said what he said, but he's not choosing Kyrie Irving over LeBron James. And see, Skip, my grandfather used to say all the time, boy, two people can keep a secret, but one of them need to be dead. See, when Kyrie said what he said, somebody heard it. And guess what, Skip? That got back to LeBron. How did you think? Skip, let me ask you this.
Wait, what did you say when Kyrie, when he told Dan Gilbert?
When Dan Gilbert, when he said he doesn't want to play with LeBron. You know it's going to get back, right?
Well, it had to.
But let me ask you a question.
I mean, LeBron runs the show, man.
Skip, me and you have been together for almost a year. If it got back to you that I wanted out because I didn't want to work with Skip Bayless anymore, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to like, Shannon, after all I've done for you, you're the reason that you're sitting across from me is because I hand selected you. And this is the kind of respect
that you would immediately hear from me.
Yeah.
And I would want to hear it directly from you.
But he can't hear it directly from Kyrie because, as you said, the headline saying is what? He's evading LeBron.
No, he wants to get out from under. That's what he's not evading LeBron.
Yeah, why didn't he go?
In conversation.
Don't go to Dan Gilbert.
Kyrie's in China right now, so it's a little complicated. But go ahead.
Don't go to Dan Gilbert.
Yeah.
Go to LeBron. LeBron, I want to leave, bro.
I told you my first point was that's the best way to do it. He should have taken that path. Go right to him and just detail all of his issues.
Yeah.
LeBron wouldn't like hearing those issues.
But I'm going to hear it coming from you. Although LeBron defers to Kyrie, you said it yesterday, that Kyrie had a higher usage rate, which means he had the...
Slightly. It was just percentage points. 30-something to 29-something percent.
So if I win a race by .100 and you come in second by .2, who won the race? So, in other words, Kyrie had the ball more in his hand than LeBron. Am I correct?
In the regular season, but not in the post.
Okay.
LeBron took more shots in the postseason than Kyrie. Well, he did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I win a race by point something, I won the race.
Okay. But how many points did Kyrie average in the playoffs?
25-9.
And what did LeBron average? 30 what? So
yeah.
That's neither here nor there, Skip. LeBron is upset that Kyrie chose to use him because he knew what that would generate. He knew if he said LeBron, that Dan Gilbert was going to choose LeBron, he was going to choose the hometown kid, the Mount Rushmore kid, over one Kyrie Irving.
That's okay. I mean, I don't have an issue with that.
I don't have a problem with that, Skip. I have a problem with no one that has a problem with Shannon. If you don't want to work with me, you don't want to work with me. But keep my name out your mouth. Because if my name come to your mouth, I'm going to step to you and ask you, what's the problem? If you want to leave, leave. I got no problem with leaving. There's some guys I didn't want to particularly play with all the time. And I think the thing is, for me, Skip, I think because there's 53 men on the football roster and 12 to 15 on the basketball roster, they get a little closer. See, there's a difference between being friend and being friendly. See, Keith Burns and Rod Woodson and Ray Lewis, they're friends. We've gone on vacation together. We've gone out to eat together. They've been to my house, Daryl McCormick Bucket, been to cookouts. Kyrie and Bron been on vacation? So I don't really view they get along well, and they do a great job for the cameras. But LeBron is upset that Kyrie mentioned his name. He portrayed LeBron in a very negative light.
Okay.
Make it seem like, well, this is why, because LeBron, man, he think Kyrie should be used to losing. Do he remember he was in the lottery every year LeBron wasn't there? So why is he taking it so hard? Because he should be all cried out. Because they got Anthony Bennett, first pick in the draft. They got Andrew Wiggins, first pick in the draft. So he shouldn't have any tears. Why is he taking it so hard? He should be immune to it.
Okay, so there are two big issues operating here. The reason LeBron's inner circle is reacting through Stephen A. to protect LeBron here is you got to protect a brand. That's a huge brand that is taking some dings right now because people are sitting back thinking, gee, maybe LeBron is a little tricky to play with. And it's not good for LeBron. What did I read yesterday? They made a pizza investment. What was it called? Blaze?
Blaze.
And they made like $34 million in 4 or 5 years.
And it's blazing.
Wow. And he's still taking the max? Why would
Take
he take
it,
less
Ron.
money? To play? You're still taking $33 million
Hold on,
to play?
time out. Quicken Loans. Dan Gilbert on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He also owned Quicken Loans. They still issuing home loans? Oh, so he gets to take max money, but you want Bron to turn it down. I wish Bron might. If Bron ever take less than a max, I'm out.
But LeBron's still doing those, Kia ads? And we know he drives Kias back and forth.
Drives them. He had a nice white one with the black that blurred out windows.
We know that. Yep.
Stop hating on what the man drives.
I'm not hating. I just don't believe he drives a Kia. But
He
that's okay.
does.
Didn't he have like 44 cars or like the whole driveway?
Didn't you see him pull up at the stadium in that white Kia with that 3% tint?
No, I did not see.
Well, I saw it.
Yeah, you saw it. You were riding with him. You're riding shotgun, right?
Skip.
Okay.
Why?
So look, they're in Kyrie's inner circle. They get sick and tired of LeBron being overprotected by the media. So some of these things they want out to protect not Kyrie's brand, because he really doesn't have a big brand right now, not yet, but just to protect his reputation.
What reputation?
Well,
the guy that shoot first point guard?
Yeah.
What he was before
he is a straight shooter.
But Skip, here's the thing. What he wants, he's not going to get. He wants to, because think about it, Skip, when you mention point guards, you go Russell, you go Steph Curry, you go James Harden. So you go to John Wall, even before you get to mention Kyrie.
Why is that? Because Kyrie has been deferring to LeBron James.
Let me ask you a question. What teammate in the NBA could play with LeBron James, it would get equal billing or more billing than he? Name the player.
Kevin Durant.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Just outplayed him head-to-head in the finals.
4 times.
Made 3 of the finals right in
4
the face.
MVPs. 3 final MVPs. And he took a team from 3-1 down. Kevin Durant had a team 3-1 down, they lost. When has LeBron ever had a team 3-1 down and lost?
Okay, I hear you. I get all that. But in the end, this is about protecting brand, overprotecting image. And it reminds me of what I reacted to back in 2010 when Stephen A. reported on Mike and Mike in the hour right before First Take started. That, remember, in the crash and burn that was LeBron's last playoff series against the Boston Celtics, 2010 in Cleveland, before he took his talents to South Beach. Stephen A. reported that LeBron had to be sedated for the last couple of games because he was having a locker room issue with a teammate. Remember all that?
Yeah.
And I went on First Take immediately. I have no issue with the report because I believe that's exactly what they told Stephen A. But I have a big issue with what they told Stephen A. And I said, baloney, he was sedated. And right on the heels of that, what did Dan Gilbert do? He blasted LeBron publicly for, remember this? Quitting. Should have burned the bridge to the ground. Remember this? Quitting against Boston. That's what he said publicly.
All Kyrie has to do is come out and say that. I didn't say any of those. All he has to do is set the record straight. If he didn't say that, if he didn't say he didn't want to play with LeBron, if he didn't say he has all these issues with LeBron, set the record straight.
What do you mean set the record straight?
Imagine just anyone having a problem with LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's unthinkable.
What great person you know
he
was
does
easy
have
to
a
work
problem
with.
One person.
I played with great players. They're tough to work with.
You know what it seems like? It seems like they shouldn't have gotten rid of David Griffin. He seemed like he was
the dysfunctionality has a lot to do with it.
Everything happened to fall apart.
The dysfunctionality has a lot to do with it.
No mercy. Before we move into the next topic, I want to bring in Skip and Shannon to tell you about a great offer for our listeners from Saks Underwear Company.
Guys, you may think all underwear is the same, that quality doesn't matter, but it does. Don't put up with a pair that's uncomfortable. You'll end up throwing it out in a few months. Instead, make the switch to the best, Saks underwear. These have it all. Comfortable fabrics with a great supportive design that allows you to move freely no matter what you're doing. They'll put your old pairs to shame. Take it from Shannon, a Pro Football Hall of Famer who's an active guy.
Comfort is very important when you work out. You don't want something too snug. You don't want something too loose. You want something that will absorb the moisture, but you feel comfortable in it. And the more comfortable you are when you work out, I believe the longer you will work out. And that's the most important thing. So I am glad I got an opportunity to try Saks Underwear Company, and they're working great for me.
Outside Magazine just had an article about how Saks has revolutionized underwear the same way Gore-Tex revolutionized jackets. And it's true. Saks has taken something we all need and made it better. Quality, support, and comfort. Everything you need. We want you to try Saks underwear with our special limited time deal. Go to our URL, saksunderwear.com/undisputed, and you'll get 20% off your first purchase. Pick up a few pairs. That's Saks with 2 X's, SAXX. Underwear.com/undisputed for 20% off your first purchase.
Thanks, guys. That's saksunderwear.com/undisputed for 20% off your first purchase. That's Saks with 2 X's. One more time, that's saksunderwear.com/undisputed. Now back to the show. No mercy. We've got more rumors about the growing feud between LeBron and Kyrie. About 30 minutes ago, LeBron refuted that report, which Slam Magazine posted. LeBron tweeted, #Not facts, people. Boo. Get another source. #Enjoying my summer. You do the same. Nelly is with us.
Yes.
What's your take on this LeBron-Kyrie feud?
I really, from the bottom of my heart, first off, I really hope this is not true. That you know, LeBron is feeling like, yo, if Kyrie was in front of me, I would whoop his ass. Right. You know.
That came from one of LeBron's insiders to Stephen A.
Right.
So I'm not sure LeBron feels that. That's what they thought that his level of anger was.
Of course, but I really hope that's not true for these two brothers. First of all, LeBron is such a role model when you look at this situation, and Kyrie's such a great guy too as well. And you hate to see this come about or come to that type of situation, especially over playing together. I mean, we're all professionals. We don't have to play with each other, you know, but it doesn't have to get to that type of scenario. Now, outside of that, me feeling like that, I mean, it's great for TV, you know, because you feel this anger and you kind of feel like, well, wait a minute, are these guys going to automatically become enemies? Right. Enemies on a certain level, which is probably great for the NBA outside of the violence because no one wants to advocate that. But the competitiveness could turn out to be something great for the league. I'm down on it because I thought these two were perfect for each other. I thought these two were perfect for each other, riding off into the sunset. I thought it was a perfect opportunity for Kyrie to get a lot of tutoring and a lot of knowledge because eventually you look at how many more years can LeBron play? Possibly. You know, you probably give him a couple of more and eventually,
ain't no telling.
You know, ride off into the sunset and Kyrie will have a chance to take over what's there and step into the light. But he wants to step into the light now, obviously.
He does?
This is tough, man. This is really tough because I don't see where Kyrie goes from here. He wants to be traded, but where does he go?
He doesn't care. He don't want to join forces with 3 superstars. He just wants his own show.
He ain't gonna get it in San Antonio. He's not gonna get it in Minnesota.
San Antonio is probably the best option because you get to go play with a coach in Pop, and you get to go play with some people is regarded as the best two-way player in the league in Kawhi.
And he has low ego, and he will sacrifice. He will do whatever's best for the
right,
team.
but how do you get him over there? Because who do you trade?
But here's the thing. What do you think LeBron has been doing? Do you not think that LeBron James could average 30 points a game? You've seen him
What do you think Kyrie's been doing for 3 years?
Before LeBron got there, losing.
Did he not have to sacrifice because he signed a deal in which he thought he was going to be the man in Cleveland for the next 5 years, and 11 days later, boom, LeBron comes home?
Yeah,
that's hard, man.
Yeah, but you had a couple of years. You had a couple of years before LeBron came back to basically.
But you were a baby. You were
well,
18,
of course,
19,
but you're comparing him to LeBron because LeBron was a baby and he had all that pressure on him, and he
more than Kyrie.
He carried teams.
Okay, but he's 6'9" and Kyrie's 6'2".
So what you want me to do about that?
Allen Iverson carried the team himself.
It took a while.
It didn't take him that long.
Well, it did too. It took a
What
long
the
time.
first 4 years?
96, he was the first pick in the draft in 96. In 01, he went to the finals.
Okay, so 5 years.
Okay, so with Kyrie?
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas. I'm just saying, if you want to step into that light, you can't use any excuses.
Kyrie Irving's a bad man.
Kyrie Irving is a bad man.
Oh,
I'm never disputing that. And he got some dope sneakers.
Yeah.
Listen, and he got some dope sneakers. Kyrie, the truth. I love Kyrie, but I'm just saying what reality is right now in the sense of, you're getting a chance to play with somebody, like you're saying, who's on, for me, is on Mount Rushmore. But
everybody keeps saying
we'll see. We'll see.
You want to respond, or you want me to?
I want you.
Because I got something I got to say.
Here you go.
This is the same LeBron James who, about 48 hours ago, posted on, I think it was Instagram, he's head bobbing along to Meek Mill's new lyrics, right? You know, this heavy heart. And the line I'm going to have to paraphrase is, guys say they're with you when they're really not. He didn't say it exactly that way, but that's the lyric in the song.
Yeah, okay.
You don't think that's aimed at Kyrie? You don't think he was stung? So now he's enjoying his summer, right? Like, what was it? I'm enjoy your summer.
Hashtag
baloney. Baloney.
What does that mean?
Mount Rushmore. Hashtag haters.
Yeah, haters. Yeah. So don't give me that. Boo, get better sources. No, the sources are exactly right. He was blindsided by this. He was very angry. He was hurt, and his emotions go up and down. He's got some diva in him. He can be very moody from day to day.
He deserves it.
Okay, he does. You know what? He deserves it. But Kyrie got sick and tired of having to live with it and defer to it and play off it from day to day. He's hard to live with. And at some point at age 25, Kyrie finally said, I just won out. I'm going to call all of you on everything you did to me. I'm going to call the owner on it because you told me it was my show, and then you gave it back to him. And I don't blame the owner for doing that.
I remember sitting on a certain show with you saying the same thing about one Kobe Bryant. The same thing as far as, and you told me the exact words, well, now I can't say the exact words, but the same part is that he's Kobe. He deserves everything that he was doing. And I called him a diva, and I called him everything that you're saying about LeBron right now, as far as him not being able to nurture the young talent and being able to bring them along.
Okay.
And you killed me for that, Skip.
No, I didn't kill you for that.
What?
I don't think I did. I think Stephen A. killed you for that.
It was you.
You too.
No, it wasn't me.
But
Kobe had won 2 rings by himself, so he had.
He
to
ain't
your
never
point,
did nothing
he
by
earned
himself.
it. Well, he had Pau Gasol.
Nobody did it by themselves.
Is Powell going to the Hall of Fame?
Nobody had a
No.
ring by themselves.
He's going to the Hall of Fame? I hope not.
You don't think Pau Gasol is going to the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
As a
But
two-time
in
champion,
basketball, everybody goes to the Hall of Fame.
No, but I'm just.
I think you're in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
No.
Really.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow, you something else.
LeBron took a bunch of players like me to the finals.
Didn't you win like intramurals or
Out
something
intramural
in
champ.
college?
Oh, and you scored like 96 points in some game.
But
48.
we can sit here and say that, but I definitely think LeBron's earned the right to feel a certain kind of way when he is the captain of the ship. When you're the captain of the ship, all hands on deck.
Okay, so now it's damage control on the part of LeBron because he realizes it's not that easy just to trade Kyrie. Remember, contracts signed in the summer,
Right.
they're not tradable until I think it's like mid-December. So there's a chance you're going to be forced to suck it up and play together for a couple of weeks anyway.
Well, if these reports are true, I don't know how that's going to take place.
Exactly.
I don't know how that's going to take place if these reports are true.
I mean, Skip, think about it. You talk about, okay, we might sign this guy because at the time, Kyrie was a B-list movie star. But then all of a sudden, Denzel comes available.
Okay.
What do you think will happen?
I got it, but the B-lister is going to be unhappy about that.
He'll get over it.
He shouldn't get over it because now he thinks he's an A-lister because the B-lister saved Denzel's bacon in the finals 2 years ago.
Well, I don't,
he made the shot.
I don't even think Kyrie is a B-lister. I think he's a A-lister, but I think the one person that could have made him step aside just joined his team.
No mercy. Derrick Rose has reportedly agreed to a one-year deal for just over $2 million with the Cavs. This comes just days after reports that Kyrie Irving wants out of Cleveland. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Rose was in communication with LeBron James throughout his process of deciding to sign with Cleveland. The King welcomed Rose to the Cavs with this tweet of several Rose emojis. And let's rock, G. Shannon, how much will Rose help?
You notice how when guys are getting ready to come to Cleveland, they'll keep in contact with one LeBron James. And the very guy that wants to exit can't find LeBron's number, doesn't want to open his mouth but to somebody else to try to trash the King.
You're down on Kyrie now.
That's all right. I mean, I still got you, but hey, do it. Yeah. Skip, he'll make a difference depending on what happens with Kyrie. Because I think they were thinking Kyrie was going to be there. Now Rose can come in, give them 20 minutes, a better 20 minutes than what Darren Williams gave them. He also can play on the ball and can take LeBron off the ball. Therefore, LeBron doesn't have to exert so much energy initiating the offense for everybody. D. Rose can do that. It's going to be interesting to see. Now, if Kyrie leaves, instead of 20 minutes, he's going to probably be asked to play 30. Skip, after doing some research, I did not know this. Derrick Rose is only 28 years of age. Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook are the same age. They came in the same draft. Skip, the dude is 28. Probably got the body of like a 38-year-old or all those knee injuries and ankle injuries. And hopefully, and this is normally what happens when people go play with the Patriots or they go play with LeBron James. Whatever issues they had at other places, they don't seem to bring those same issues with them when they're at this location. Because I can assure you, you thinking about not showing up to a game and not telling anybody, you better be in Cleveland General.
No, LeBron will post on Instagram. He'll be bobbing his head to some rap lyric about how bad you are.
Why are you worried about what LeBron doing on social media? You don't follow LeBron.
That's the way he leads that team.
Why are you doing that,
That's the way
Skip?
he criticizes.
So it's going to be very interesting to see. And also another thing, Skip, how does he play out the ball? Because we know a lot of times Bron will have his hands on the ball, and we've never seen D. Rose play out the ball. But he can get into the paint. He got into the paint at a higher percentage than LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. So he still can get in the paint. He's still athletic. He's not the guy he was at say, 2022 because injuries have robbed him of a lot of that. But I think he can be a big addition. I believe he'll play more valuable minutes for this Cleveland team than what Darren Williams played for them last year.
You speaking with your heart or your head?
I just believe that being around other great players, all-time great players, will elevate your game and get the best out of you.
I will agree with that. This is a great spot for Derrick Rose. It's the perfect spot to maybe jumpstart your career, restart
Reignite
it.
Yes.
Yeah, revitalize yourself. You're right. Whatever LeBron can get out of Derrick Rose, he will get the maximum out of Derrick Rose, whatever is left. And to your point about being age 28, Derrick Rose has played a total with regular season and playoff, 18,000 minutes in the NBA. Remember that, 18,000. LeBron James has played 50,400 minutes in the NBA. So one guy, 18,000 minutes to 50,400. So you would say there's a lot of tread left on those tires if, in fact, those tires hadn't gone flat so many times before, right?
Yes.
So that's put some years on him. So to your point, I'm not sure he's 38 in true age.
I'll give him like 33, 34.
Yeah, something like that. which is why ultimately I believe Derrick Rose will frustrate and disappoint LeBron James. He will try to get the best out of him, and I think there'll be flashes of the old Derrick along the trail. But if you talk to people who knew him well in Chicago, who followed him closely in Chicago, he became the all-time head case. And the problem started with the pain tolerance. He had low to no pain tolerance. The most minor injury, Shannon Sharpe would just gut it up and play through. He's like, I'm out. I just can't play tonight. Nah, I don't feel like it. I can't play tomorrow night. And nights on end, as you know, he just wouldn't play with what we would consider minor injuries.
But, Skip, football players have a different mindset than basketball and baseball because you look, we play 16 games, they play 82, baseball play 162. So if we miss a game, it's the equivalent of missing 5 games in the NBA. It's the equivalent of missing 10 games in MLB. So games are really, really valuable. I mean, missing 5 games and missing 5 games in the NBA, Skip, that's nothing because you play so many, you can make it up. But I agree with you. There are some injuries that you maybe thought he could play with, but everybody doesn't have that mindset.
Not the mindset.
And you know when something's not bothering you, but to suppress that and still go out there. And not just go out there because when people see you out there on the field, Skip, they expect you to be the guy that's 100%, although you know you're not.
So the Cavaliers, starting with LeBron James, pride themselves on playing some defense. I thought it fell off at the end of last year, but they can, when they lock in and lock down, they can play defense. Yes. Derrick Rose has never had much use for playing defense.
Is he worse than Kyrie?
Yes. When Kyrie would lock up, I saw Kyrie play some hellacious good defense in the finals. I did, both this year and last year. When he decides to, he can play at a level higher than Derrick Rose. I don't think Derrick Rose ever cared about playing defense. No. And Derrick Rose isn't just a bad three-point shooter. He's one of the worst. He shot 22% from 3 last year. So as a spot-up three-point shooter, if in fact LeBron's running the point, you got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you let him dribble it and drive it into the paint, I'll give you that. Because he won the MVP, as I told you the other day. He basically would run through the brick wall that was those 3 big post guys camped in the lane. He would just drive right through them, go up through them, and power himself up to the rim and get to the free throw line. And that's the way he basically stole the MVP from LeBron, who had a great year that year. I'm with you on that one. LeBron should have won that MVP, but Derrick Rose did. So now the mindset is he playing for a new contract? Because he's playing for
2.1.
Yeah, 2.1. And by the way, Dan Gilbert had to pony up. Luck stacks $7 million. So LeBron's got to give his owner that. He just said, okay, I'll throw in another $7 million.
Yeah.
I know he makes a lot of money with Quicken Loans, and LeBron makes him a lot of money with the Cavaliers. But still, 7 more he had to pony up for
Increase
luxury
his franchise value by $1 billion with a B.
No Cowboys, but still.
Whatever, Skip.
Yeah. Who's the ultimate Cowboy fan? LeBron James. Who knew?
Well,
Does he not ride those bandwagons?
I mean, we don't agree on everything.
Wow.
We don't agree on everything. He liked the Cowboys. I choose not to.
Okay. So he also likes the Yankees. Cowboys, Yankees.
I like the Yankees.
Front running?
Skip!
Did you say front running?
No.
I don't know. Maybe he's down on the Yankees now. Who knows? But the point is, this is a guy, if you're not careful, if your team starts to teeter, as they did last year, as they went 23-23 over the last 46 games, you have to watch a Derrick Rose because he'll go a little south on you. He's the one to quickly throw up his hands and say, what's it worth? Which is why last year, as the Knicks went south, what did he do? He just went MIA on a home game against New Orleans.
Well, that's when they don't have leadership, Skip.
Yeah.
Because that was my job to make sure that when things started going bad or they weren't going as well as we'd hoped, when I was in Denver and Baltimore, my job was to make sure no one went south.
Yeah.
Well, I can assure you LeBron James has that same philosophy. You hold people accountable. We don't play because we're winning. We play to play and let the outcome speak for itself. But we're going to play hard.
Yep.
We're going to be professional. We're going to show up to work and do our jobs. We're not, we're out of the playoffs now. Let's go ahead. No, we're not packing Jack in because guess what? You're going to walk upstairs on Monday and you're going to go pick up that check. So if you go pick up a check, you earn it.
Okay, I got it. But to me, Derrick Rose doesn't have much earning power left because I think he's still pretty much a shell of his MVP self.
I agree.
And all of a sudden, he's in the perfect spot, like, thank you, God, because even though he's taken small money, what a huge opportunity. If in fact, Kyrie gets traded, you're going to have to count on him to ride shotgun,
It's
right?
a good insurance policy if Kyrie gets traded, and then you don't become dependent on having to trade with a team that has a point guard. Because now you get to hold out to the best available deal.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to say, well, they got a point guard. We need a point guard, so we have to take this trade. No, we're going to hold out, and we're going to get the very best possible deal. So that might be a Boogie Cousins or Anthony Davis or Karl Anthony Towns or Wiggins, but we're going to get something of value. We're not giving you a magic potion for beans. Okay? I know you think this is a Jack and the Beanstalk story, but it's not going to be.
So how are you going to like LaMarcus Aldridge? You
Oh, we ain't get no LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah,
no. No, LaMarcus Aldridge used to play for All-Star.
Oh.
We play for championships in Cleveland, and that's his problem in San Antonio. We play for championships, and we don't shrink when the lights get bright.
We're
we
going
stand
to get
tall.
Kyrie in San Antonio.
Yeah, Derrick Rose, that's very on brand for everything you're just saying.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're
I'm
very
not worried about it. Derrick Rose
I
doesn't play
know
for my
everybody's
team.
out there thinking that Dan Gilbert's going to give up his kingdom like Aesop gave up his kingdom for a horse. That's not going to happen. You heard of that story, right? Aesop fable. He gave up his entire kingdom away for a horse.
My horse kingdom for a horse?
Yeah.
Okay, that's from a Shakespeare play, but that's...
Don't worry about it. I said Aesop gave it away as his fable. Let me tell my story.
Okay.
No mercy.
The Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor mega fight is just over a month away. Yesterday, Mike Tyson gave his take on the fight. Let's take a listen.
McGregor's gonna get killed.
Okay,
If
so-
he gets boxing,
Okay.
I got mad because I thought they were gonna use MMA rules against boxing because that's what it's all about. Can the boxer beat the MMA guy? Conor put his dumb ass in a position where he's gonna get knocked out because this guy's been doing this all his life since he was a little baby, and Conor can't kick or grab and stuff. He's not gonna stand much of a chance. McGregor took the biggest sucker rules in the history of boxing.
We're joined once again by Nelly. Do you agree with Tyson?
I agree with Tyson in a way of Conor's going. I don't think Conor's going to win. Nah, Conor getting knocked out and getting his ass kicked. I don't think that's really going to happen. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I mean, understand 10-ounce gloves. That's like a pillow fight for somebody like
Pillow
Conor.
fight. Yep.
Conor, because he's used to using those MMA gloves and getting kneed in the face, kicked in the side of the head, and now you're talking about rabbit punching him or rapidly tapping him in the side of the face or something like that. Now, I believe he could have a swollen eye from
he'll
the
get
punches.
knocked up.
But I would not be surprised if Conor did something to the sense of putting his hands behind his back and letting Floyd take his best shot.
I agree.
Just to show that he has no effect.
Hit me.
You know what I'm saying?
Hit
Just
me.
to walk forward with his hands down, like, go ahead, you can't hurt me. Because I truly believe that he believes that he can't be hurt. Now, points, I definitely think Floyd will win the decision. Getting knocked out, I don't think that's going to happen at all.
Because the decision will be rigged by the boxing.
Stop it, Skip. Your guy don't win.
I don't think that man's going to beat him in the boxing match. That's definitely not happening.
Do you remember Ali rope-a-dope and Foreman?
Yeah, I do.
He said, go ahead, and then he finally said to him, is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Conor got a shot,
did
though.
him in.
I definitely think Conor got a shot. I mean, a puncher always has a chance. And I think if Floyd gets out of context or tries to prove something, I think it could definitely, be a moment in there where you might be like, uh-oh. But as far as the overall outcome, I think Floyd's going to win.
One shot.
And that's why
Out of
Floyd will
nowhere.
not fall into the trap, even if Conor puts his hands behind his back.
Hit me.
I don't want to
Here's
do all
my
that.
chin, hit me.
Because I'm going
Take your best
to
shot.
be hitting you with your hands up. I don't need to hit you with your hands behind your back. Listen, if they were in the octagon,
it'd be over in a minute.
I would believe
Inside of a minute.
It'd be over in a minute.
But they're going to be in that square, and he's going to be tapping on. And granted, those are pillars, but pillars hurt. You got to hit in the eye when you weren't paying attention. Somebody hit you with a pillar. It hurt, didn't it?
A pillow fight. But what I'm saying is, you're used, like you said, it's a pain tolerance, and this guy's pain tolerance has to be at least 20 times more than what Floyd is.
Thank you.
It has to be.
You know why?
How?
Because Nate Diaz made him tap out. So why you tap it out?
A tap out is a choke move, something that you're not using today. The tap out don't matter because you're not using those tactics.
Right.
The tap out don't matter.
Exactly.
Everybody keeps saying tap out. Tap out is
they gonna
irrelevant
wrestle?
because you're not choking.
No, but how did he get him on the ground? He put them fists on him and he jumped on him. like an octopus.
He put them fists on it, not them pillows.
So who got better fists than Floyd?
Wait. He weighed 30 more pounds than McGregor. He's like 5 inches longer than McGregor.
Yeah,
So?
you know that matters.
August 26th. Yeah. I'll be there, will you?
Never.
Well, I'm going. And you go.
Never.
I'm gonna be there.
And I will.
Never.
It's not about, because I already know. I'm walking Floyd in the ring. We having a party.
I wish I could walk Conor out.
What?
I wish I could.
Me and you have a fight in the ring.
I wish I could. I wish I could walk that man out.
Wait. I can arrange this.
No, Conor done went too far on a lot of other stuff.
See,
messing around with me. He done went too far. I wish, but he done went too far on a lot of other comments for me. Too much of the dance, all that. You know, I'm still holding down.
I'm gonna deal with you up.
But you know, it is what it is.
Floyd, I will deal with you off camera. Back to you.
Wait. He wants to, I'm going to arrange this.
No.
Nelly walks
We don't
out
want you to arrange nothing.
They can make their peace.
Floyd gonna make $310 million. He gonna pay out that $25 million or whatever he owe.
Oh, he's gonna pay it off.
Oh, no, believe me, they want it.
They're
Trust
like, before you get that check, let me.
We're gonna go on and give it to him.
Wait, our president will let Floyd off after the fight. They're close friends.
No, he ain't let no. IRS ain't let nobody off.
Well, that's what was kind of hard. I mean, you know, even with the commentating back and forth, I mean, it's kind of hard for someone like Floyd to play that card when, you know, he's a firm supporter of the Trump administration.
That is correct.
You know what I mean? And
firm supporter, good close friend.
Yeah, good close friend at the inauguration.
Went up to hang out with him.
Not been a huge fan of the Black Lives Matter movement. He's done a lot. He's done a lot to remove himself from a certain side.
You got to try to defend him.
Who defend who?
Floyd.
All I'm talking about is the boxing. Has he been a model citizen? Absolutely not. I'm purely talking about his boxing exploit. Now, when there come a topic that we need to address, one day there'll be a topic that we'll address him and President Trump, or we'll address him and the Black Lives Matter, or him and the black community. Okay, we'll address that. But right now, I want him to flip the brakes off Conor McGregor.
So let me ask you a question. Am I not right that it's far more likely that Floyd will get knocked out than he will knock out Conor McGregor?
No.
Because it's so obvious to me, there is no way that Floyd Mayweather, who has not knocked anyone out in a boxing ring for 18 years, is going to knock out this guy who's taken that much punishment in his sport, because he's got a chin now. He's got a chin, and he's got some toughness to him. And I'm going to tell you again, this is a crazy you-know-what. This is the craziest you-know-what Floyd has ever been in the ring with.
The best ones to beat.
Huh?
The craziest you-know-what, them the best ones.
No rules. He's going to fight out of this stance and that stance. And I'm going to give Conor this. He's much shrewder of an operator than you're giving him credit for. I think he's got some fighting genius about him. So I'm not going to say boxing genius, but fighting genius about him. He's got high IQ in combat sports, and he's going to throw look after look after look at Floyd, and he's not afraid of him, because I promise you, he is not going in the ring thinking, I got to be careful or I'm going to get knocked out.
No, I don't.
There's no fear at all.
I definitely don't think he's afraid. If as far as confidence level.
All he wants is for Floyd, for a moment here and there, to stand and engage with him. Because if he does stand and engage, that moment will lead to maybe a left or a right. He's ambidextrous. He's left-handed, but trust me, his right's just
all his power is in his left hand.
He's got
all of his power is in his left hand.
Floyd is very smart when it comes to that ring, and I think, you know, if he ever been inside a situation where he had to really think it out. I mean, you watched him come back from Shane. I give him that credit, because Shane rocked him.
Hit him flush.
Shane rocked him. And he gathered himself up to come back from that. So I think this is one of those type of scenarios that if he does, for any moment, feel or catch one of those situations, that clinch, hold, and run will kick in.
It will.
That clinch, hold, and run, jab, will kick in, and he's going to snap back to reality, because he's very smart. He's going to win.
You know he's going to roll.
He's going to win.
You know how Skip. First of all, Conor can only fight out of the southpaw stance. He can't fight out of the.
Well,
trust
we
me,
don't
you're
know what
so
stance
wrong.
he can
You
fight.
have
I just
no
would say
idea.
you don't. He doesn't have a stance.
But see, all of his. He
Not
ain't
boxing.
First of all, he has that wide MMA stance.
Exactly.
But here's the thing: in order for him to get the maximum power in that left, Skip, he has to be in the southpaw. If his left foot is forward, he ain't gonna knock Floyd out with no jab.
He don't need maximum power. He needs maximum power in MMA for people that are used to taking a high pain tolerance.
You just told me he got on pillows. So how you gonna knock him out with an orthodox stance?
I feel you. Them
you
gloves
told me-
is something else.
Exactly.
I wish you would have shrunk them gloves up, bro.
Exactly.
I
You-
just think
you
they
done had on
definitely,
some- you done had them gloves.
definitely got away with murder with them gloves being 10 ounces.
And I told Skip the determining factor was what weight were they going to fight at.
Yeah.
He fought at one. Floyd has not fought at 154 in probably a decade, and he fought De La Hoya at 154. He knew anything above 147, you're going to get 10-ounce gloves. That's why he's not fighting at 147. He doesn't want those 8-ounce gloves.
Floyd is 40 years of age, going on 41. He has not fought competitively for 2 years. That's a long time to lay off.
He's in great shape, though.
I
give you to that, like, out of all that, like, he does it. He's not a drinker. He's not a smoker. You know what I mean? So
He's always
I'll
been a
give him that.
couple
He's not a
pounds
traditional
Being in great
40-year-old.
shape and fighting are two different things.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when you're at, it's kind of like Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying? Jerry
He can
Rice.
still go out there and run around.
Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens. I still believe Terrell Owens probably could be better than the bottom
Sure,
half.
can they go
of
out
any
and run a
receiver.
route, but can they take a hit from the defense and
I'm
pop
not-
back up and
but
play an
first of
entire
all, he's not.
season?
Yeah.
He's not. If he was a boxer, if he was a traditional boxer, I'd give him a better chance. But he's not better than the top 10 fighters that Floyd has mopped the floor with. He's not better than Canelo.
Yeah, but he's
not better
definitely
than.
but he's definitely a different.
So he got
style.
He got more punching power than Canelo.
I'm saying I don't know.
His hands are quicker
No
than Canelo.
way.
I don't know.
Canelo punches in
I don't know.
slow motion.
I don't
Floyd
know.
just had a field day.
Like, how
with
would
it.
we judge that? How would we judge that? Because he just hit Nate Diaz with a shot. Nate Diaz, like you said, was 20 or 30 pounds heavier than him. So
Dropped
he's
him.
been proven
he hit
to
him with
not.
4-ounce gloves.
I feel you.
Okay, with 10-ounce gloves.
Well, let me see Canelo go fight somebody 30 pounds heavier with his 10-ounce gloves, and let's see if he can put a match up.
But he's going to have to fight Floyd in that square at 154. And the man is 49-0, going to 50-0 with 310 million. I'm going to ask him to borrow one of those Hermes bags because I won't Skip to see it up close and personal. Him and Joy, because Joy be hating.
No mercy.
Grammy winner in front of the show, Nelly, was still with us, and we're joined by Greg Jennings. Welcome, Greg. Well, let's get to it. Let's talk about the Cowboys. Yesterday, they cut wide receiver Lucky Whitehead after learning he was arrested for shoplifting and failing to appear in court in Virginia. Whitehead claims he was still in Dallas at the time of the arrest, and he has a plane ticket to prove it. He said, quote, "I don't know who got arrested in Virginia, but it wasn't me." Jason Garrett later added, "It was in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys to move on from Lucky Whitehead." Greg, let me start with you. How much will the off-the-field issues hurt the Cowboys on the field this season?
First, Lucky was pretty unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I honestly, I don't think it. I really don't think it's going to hurt them.
Really?
I really don't think it's going to hurt
Thank you.
them.
Keep talking.
And here's my reason why. Because we're not talking about Dak Prescott. We're not talking about the guy who, in my opinion, is the foundation now of that organization and specifically that offense. He's the guy that's going to make them go or not go. And so if we were talking about Dak Prescott and him having issues and off the field tantrums and him robbing and stealing and having all these off the field issues, then yes, Cowboy camp should be really worried and concerned. But when we're talking about today, Lucky Whitehead, a guy that, number one, somebody had to take the fall, Skip. I mean, they had to pull the plug on somebody. It wasn't going to be Zeke. It's definitely not going to be Dez.
But this was about the fifth incident.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But I don't think it's not new across the league. You just mentioned LaTroy Guion being suspended. We have guys across the league that get suspended every year that have off-the-field issues every year. It just so happened they're not in Dallas. They're not the center of attention. They're not the eyeball of the NFL. So when you have that star on your helmet, you're going to be required to button up a little bit more, and they just have a lot of young guys that haven't done it. With Dak Prescott, again, being their leader, he's as buttoned up and as poised as possible.
Though, the Cowboys have had more than their share of off-the-field trouble, more than their share, more than usual.
More than usual, but again, they've always had their share.
They have.
And they've always had an owner that embraced them having their share.
Yeah, because he's had his share.
That is a fact.
You know, when you have your share, it's kind of hard to point a finger. It's kind of hard to point a finger. But what I found it interesting is that who made the statement. After everything that's going on, you haven't really heard too much from Garrett on anybody else's problems or situations.
Never hear from Garrett.
Well, you just heard from him. He the one made this statement on Lucky. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got this one.
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's like after everything that's going on.
Was handed to him
by
the owner.
You can go out
son.
and say this one. Right. So, I don't know, man. I didn't even know Lucky was still on the team. I mean, that's first and foremost.
He said it wasn't him. How we know it wasn't Zeke?
What?
That could have been Zeke. He said it wasn't him.
The dreads, homie. The dreads.
So that's what gave it away. Hold on.
Hey, Zeke is from St. Louis, and he
There
doesn't
you go.
go to Virginia. He's
Hold
not going to be caught
Well,
dead
I mean, he
in
walked
Virginia.
into a dispensary, didn't know what it was. I mean, they got smoke coming out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to go talk to Zeke.
Hey, so hold on. Now, you say Lucky has had a lot of incidences. Now, one Zeke, let's just...
Allegedly, homie.
Okay. You know what?
Allegedly.
I'm going to disregard Ohio.
And don't forget I'm here. Don't forget I'm here. I'm holding up for my brother. I'm here.
Okay, I would disregard those. What allegedly happened in Ohio, what allegedly happened in South Florida, I'm going to disregard those. Okay. But I will bring to the forefront pulling a lady's top down.
Did he get arrested?
Hold on. Did she agree with that? Did she disagree with that?
I think her hand smacking is.
Well, yeah, I think her.
Maybe that was a not right now.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, we go.
Okay, pull the top down. Okay, what about the incident last year that came up like 2 weeks ago Sunday? There was 2 incidents, bar fights. So that's 2 bar fights.
Was he charged?
Okay, Skip, I'm just saying. All I'm doing is just bringing things. You talking about incidences.
The victim disappeared in the second one.
Oh,
that
was disappeared.
How do you have a victim?
That was some St. Louis stuff right there.
Why we got? Hold on. Yeah. If Zeke's not involved, why we got a victim? We shouldn't have a victim. If nothing happened, we should have no victim. Okay.
I'm with you. I'm following you.
The party boat.
Nothing happened.
Okay.
Coast Guard checked it out. All good.
Okay. There was an incident. He had an incident before the Green Bay game. He had an incident before minicamp this year, and he was cited for going 100 miles an hour in a 70-mile zone.
He's appealing.
So you see, all I do is, Bo, you see what
Skip's got a new profession.
Yes, you'll be a lawyer. All I'm saying is that you took Lucky Whitehead incident to draw a line in the sand and says nobody else can cross this line. Really?
You know how that go, though. You know you're as valuable. Exactly.
When your production is up here, so is your tolerance.
I told you he does produce. I know you guys don't watch that closely. You weren't even sure he's still on the team. But last year, he was on the team because every once in a while I'd look up and say, wow, that's some sensational stuff because he could run a reverse. He could get downfield on a deep route. He could return a punt. He could return a kickoff. Now, when they needed a punt caught, they put Cole Beasley in the game. When they just flat out needed to catch the football and down it right there to save the day, they put Cole Beasley back there, which tells you how much they did not trust Lucky Whitehead. Undrafted free agent out of Florida Atlantic. But he could flat fly with the football under his arm. So they're going to miss what they call their explosive playmaker.
I guess he could fly with snacks up on his arm.
Well, he did.
Well,
he did.
I hope for his sake, if it wasn't him, that he does get, the benefit of the doubt.
They've been able the benefit of the doubt. They released
Well,
him.
I'm saying as far as him continuing his career in the NFL, that maybe another team or whatever, decides to get
somebody will pick him up.
He'll get picked up.
Hopefully.
Yep. But he had one incident after another. There was the pit bull incident, and I don't know what happened.
Man stole his dog, Skip.
Yeah, I think he owed the man some money from what I read. A rapper in Fort Worth named Bugatti Casino. You're not aware. I haven't heard of it.
You don't know about Bugatti?
I don't know about
Bugatti.
No.
Come on,
Bugatti Casino?
It's B-O-O, Bugatti, and then Casino with a K.
Okay.
Not a rival? Not a rival of yours?
I don't know the homie.
B-O-O-T-L-E-G.
He might be getting it, though. I don't know,
So the problem is that he went so public with it and filed a police report that the authorities were considering, according to USA Today, going after Lucky Whitehead for filing a false police report on his kidnapped dog. So it doesn't look good for the Cowboys. Okay, I get you.
Skip, was the dog kidnapped? Why the dog was kidnapped, how the dog became kidnapped is unimportant. Did that man take the dog and hold the dog hostage wanting something in return? Yes or no?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Lucky need to change his name.
Yeah, he is
unlucky. He's a little unlucky.
So you think the Cowboys are in trouble this year?
No, I don't think they're in trouble, but he was part and parcel about what's going wrong with the team. That's a losing football player. He was late for a walkthrough last year before a pivotal game at the Giants, and Jason Garrett said...
Misconditioning. Yeah. He didn't even show up. Daz was late for conditioning.
Okay, but
3
wait
hours.
a second. This is the crucial game of the year at the Giants. Again, they lost by whatever it was, by 3 that day. But they didn't have
4.
Lucky Whitehead by 4.
That was by 3. 10-7.
3. But the point is, Jason Garrett, to his credit, said, I'm not even going to let you get on the charter. So he was effectively suspended for that game for being late to that Saturday walkthrough. So it's one thing after another after another. And I get you, production intolerance, but still, did they single him out, just make an example of Lucky Whitehead? But he deserved to be made an example of.
But guess what, Skip? You know why it's going to have it's going to be a problem for the Cowboys? Because this is not the end of it. Somebody else is going to get suspended. Somebody else is going to do something.
Okay, but you know what? I wrote down exactly what just came out of Greg Jennings' mouth. I wrote down QB because the one thing I'm banking on, hanging my hat on, is that kid is a stud because he's got high character and he provided a new sort of moral compass for that locker room. And again, he was just a kid. He was
Were they not listening?
Okay, if Tony Romo were still the quarterback, he was never a leader of the football team. Nobody followed Tony Romo because you could never trust him when the chips were down. But in this case, Dak performed late in games. He started to win over the football team. I think he won over the football team.
Well, so I hope he comes through as steps forward and maybe it's him that needs to come forward and say that this is too much.
Maybe.
Maybe it's somebody like Dak that needs to step up and say, "Yo, this is enough."
We take Zeke on the road.
No, I think he will. But when you're outside of what home base is for all of them, which is Dallas camp, you're not going to call every guy. You're not going to be, hey, man, so cut out what you're doing in the offseason. Guys are going to do what they want to do in the offseason. Once we come together, I believe even some of those veteran guys on that team is going to go to Dak and say, Dak, we need you to reel these guys in. We need you to be that guy that is the example of who we are and where we're going.
Like Gerald McCoy. Say, Jameis, is your team now. Take it over.
Okay.
He needs to stand in that locker room with a megaphone and just say enough is enough.
I would agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But you have to earn, so to speak, your spurs before you can do that. And I'm not sure he's quite there yet.
I think Jason Witten will have a C on his chest, and I believe Dak Prescott. You notice there's a guy that's been there for 8 years.
Yeah, 88.
That still hasn't had that C on his shirt yet.
88
Why?
does not deserve a C on his shirt.
Why? He's a leader. Oh, so you mean to tell me you can't lead by being late? You can't lead doing. Oh, okay.
No, you definitely lead by example. You definitely have to lead by example.
Well, I don't want that kind of example leading.
So, he did it. And it's crazy because Dez is my cat. You know what I'm saying? And I love Dez. And I think that's something that he understands that possibly he should have been in a different place with his character as far as him leading the team. I do believe that he knows that.
Well,
and I do believe that he's going to try to get there.
Yeah, hopefully Dak can set that.
I mean, that's today. Everybody don't love conditioning like you, Shannon.
Zach can't suspend people and discipline people, though, so he'll need a little bit of backup from higher up, too, to get that done.
Oh, like Jared?
Yeah.
No mercy.
Thanks for checking out the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.